So I was trucking along, here's the trail, right? And I'm like, oh, I don't even see this, right? I just go, oh, this looks like trail, until I realize it dead ends. And I'm like, that's not the trail. I backtrack a few steps. Where was I supposed to turn? Well, apparently here. I just don't even know where to begin. All these branches, it's not like I can go under. All these branches, not like I could go over. So we shall be, and look, and I mean, it's really huge. So I suppose you can see where others have. I mean, I'm not the first to think of this, but we shall bushwhack. We shall bushwhack. God, watch your footing, Karen. Watch your footing. We shall bushwhack. Oh, my goodness. And here I am trying so carefully to, there it is. I'm trying so carefully to avoid the poison ivy that is everywhere on this trail. Yesterday, I was so panicked over it that I stopped at a clearing and scrubbed my exposed areas with baby wipes because I was afraid the oils were just going all over me. But there's so much poison ivy on this trail. Yeah, they're not as well groomed as some trails. But again, we're in the wild. What do I expect? Oh, nice, neat paths for me to walk upon. No, that's not what I should expect. And so, because I've had it, I do expect it. But I'm trying to remind myself that wasn't the norm. This is the norm. You're lucky this is cleared, quite frankly. Anyway, all right, there's that. So I've always heard that Vermont was called Vermud because there was a ton of mud. And it has not disappointed. I'm like on one day, one morning, and there is just an extensive amount of mud. And it's funny because it didn't rain yesterday like it said it was going to. So where is it all? Just caught my flipping root, just caught my sneaker. Okay, where is it all coming from? But yeah, there is a ton of mud. Oh, well. Oh, and while we're on the subject, mosquitoes, Massachusetts, I've heard, was deemed Mosquito-chusetts. That was entirely unfair. There are like 1,000 more mosquitoes in New Jersey. Did I already say this? Maybe they just couldn't come up with a clever enough name to give New Jersey the mosquito reputation, but no way, it was not Massachusetts. Though there were its fair share of mosquitoes and deer flies. The deer flies came out in New York. I noticed them for the first time. But no way was it Massachusetts. Definitely New Jersey. And while we're on the subject, so far, Massachusetts has been my favorite state. Am I a little biased? Could be. I mean, I am from there. But it is also very New England. And this is where I learned to hike in New England. Not in Massachusetts necessarily. I actually learned to hike in New Hampshire. So everybody knows I love New Hampshire. So it'll be interesting to see what I think of New Hampshire on the AT. Although I've definitely hiked a lot of AT trails in New Hampshire. But we'll see. Yeah, I haven't utilized shelters and things. I've definitely utilized campsites during backpacking trips, but I haven't utilized shelters. And just for fun, I was playing around with the map last night, just seeing how close or far are the shelters? I'm discovering out here now, in the South, it was way different. There were shelters everywhere. Here, it's no, right? Like I told you, it's either you can do 8 or you can do 20. Take your pick. Is that the way it is in New Hampshire? I don't know. But I know that when I hit those New Hampshire mountains, I know that I can't just be doing whatever, let's do 20 today because that's when the next shelter is. I don't know if, I'll rise to the occasion, but I'm just I know me, I don't know. And am I going to be able to stop at 8 miles because the next shelter's too far. I don't know. I don't know how often there will be places to stay. And from what I can tell, and I did not spend a ton of time, look, more mud. I did not spend a ton of time, but it doesn't look like they're any different than they are now, which doesn't give me a lot of hope. Anyway, okay. But yeah, going back, Massachusetts has been my favorite. Does it have something to do with the fact that I got to see my family? Who knows? What's the word? That filled me with everything I needed to get back on trail and finish. Seeing my family, hugging my grandchildren, hugging my children, seeing my husband, just sitting on the couch with him like the good old days when no mosquitoes flew by and the air conditioner was running during a heat wave. Was it because Lisa came and surprised me that day, and it was just, honest to God, did I tell you I cried? I cried. I was trying to hold it together, but I cried. Was it because some of my closest friends came to see me for dinner, and just my love tank was overflowing, and I felt love, just so much love from all the visits. And I understand because people have told me, their families had come to see them, and friends and family have come to see them, in the states where they are closest. And, I was like, oh, it's okay if I don't see my family. They've got there's more. They've got their lives. They can't be, I'm the one who chose this. They can't be, I don't even know how I'm going to get by this. I'm truly not going to just step in mud for the sake of stepping in mud. I'm not. If I had my hiking boots, maybe, but not my sneakers. So is it because, so I would tell myself, it's okay. They have their own lives. They can't just be rewriting their lives for me. I'm the one who chose this, blah, blah, blah. And yet, people, and I know, okay, stop. People I know my friends out there who maybe didn't come, right? You didn't come. It's okay. Honest to God, I'm not saying that. I seriously know you are cheering for me in the background and praying for me. And I know this is true. I can feel it. So please do not feel bad because you didn't stop everything and come see me out on trail. Please do not feel bad. I'm just saying, is it because I did have so much love poured upon me in Massachusetts that I feel Massachusetts was my favorite state? It could have something to do with it. But if I'm thinking about the terrain and the experience, I'm saying I like Massachusetts the best. Although I will say the southern states are more accommodating to thru hikers. There's just more for them, more resupply, more hostels, more shelters, more campsites, that kind of thing. More trail magic by far. Anyway, more love in the southern states. But somebody brought up a good point. There's a lot more thru hikers in the southern states, right? Because I don't know, let's use 3,000. I really don't know. Maybe it was 2,500. I know it was 30% less than the normal average started this year. So let's say 3,000 for the sake of picking a number. 3,000 people start out, but by the 500 mile mark, I guess quite a few drop out. And the people who make it past 500 miles, there's a higher percentage of finishers, but I've still seen people have to drop out from injury and whatever. It's just so sad. It makes my heart ache for them because I know they have gotten so far. And I mean, now I'm like, what? I'm at 16, let's call it 16, 15, right? It would be devastating. But anyway, yeah, I've been checking back with some of my friends that I met early on the trail, and they're all still on here. So I am very, very, very thankful and grateful and happy for them. Some are behind me, some are ahead of me. I'm just so glad to know that they're still out here doing it. But yeah, anyway, Massachusetts was good to me. And I feel so loved by all of you. Honest to God, all of you. I know You send me text messages. I might not always be able to get back to you, but you send me encouraging messages, and they really make a difference, I must tell you. All right. Love you, love you, love you. Oh my God. Sorry, had to abruptly pause my my rambling. Here's some more. Again, didn't rain yesterday. And here's the mud. And you know what's so funny is this morning I finally broke down. I rarely ever do this. Waste a dry pair of socks in wet shoes. My sneakers, I had stepped in the water as I was trying to get water yesterday to filter it. My socks were just still wet because it may not rain, but it is, the air is damp. I mean, you know, you let something out to hang and I tell you, it collects more water than it dries. So I said, nope, it didn't rain. The trails are going to be dry. I am going to put on dry socks. And I'm getting eaten alive by the deer flies right now because they don't care about the picaridin or my cedarwood oil. So, all right. I'm going to call it a day. But anyway, oh, there was one last thing I wanted to say. There always is. Anyway, all right. So 4,100 feet again. The sun is supposed to come out full force around 10. I'd like to get through. There is a climb that's like 1,000 feet. It's 1.5 miles long and it's 1,000 feet again. I'd like to get that behind me before the sun comes out full force. That's 6 miles in. All right, let's do it. Until later. So here's my little tent site for the night. I haven't been doing a very good job of sharing those with you. So I am supposedly, and I'll explain that in a minute, supposedly at the kid shelter. And yet, these tent sites are 200 feet down the AT, northbound, and the shelter is 200 feet off the AT, so they're nowhere near the shelter. And the privy is even further away, and the bear boxes are closer to the shelter than they are at all near the AT. So I'm not really feeling like I'm part of the shelter. But I guess the history is that these tent sites used to belong to a shelter. I don't remember the name, that was built here but was taken down. Now you can see where the fire pit was, or is. I suppose we could still use it. I'm not sure where the shelter sat, but it's long gone. And they said, well, we'll just tell people these tent sites go with the kid shelter. They suck. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't have said that. They're terrible tent sites. I got a halfway decent one, though you can see I am like surrounded by roots that I had to work around and rocks. But check this out. Like, okay, here's a flat area. You go, oh, a tent site, except that it's got this massive root. And like, who's gonna pitch a tent on that? Like, seriously? No, this stinks. And then you come over here and, all right, you could maybe make this work. Okay, I bet you could if you had my tent could. I could squeeze my tent in here. It wouldn't be comfortable. It wouldn't be great, but I could do it. And then Jasper's over here. He hung his hammock there. Hey, you was going to stay here, but he's all excited about the sunrise because, yes, the kids' shelter does have that going for it. There is a fantastic view, and all the comments say it has a fantastic sunrise. So he got all excited about that and didn't want to have to come back here and babysit Trinity. So I think Jasper drew the short straw. I told him he didn't have to, and he goes, "Are you sending me away?" I said, "No." So I think they just didn't want to leave me alone. So that's really kind of them. I said, I need someone to fight the bears off. Speaking of bears, I did not want to have to go 200 feet down the AT to get my coffee in the morning. So my food bag is hanging right there. Easier to get to for me. Anyway, that's that. And over here, I watched the sun go down. So over here, I'm hoping I can watch the sun come up through the trees. It won't be the view that the guys have, but it'll do. Yep, there it is. Until later. Good night.